Eric Vienna with Powerboating Canada, and today we're taking a look at something very special. I'm sitting here at Outer Harbour Marina with Captain Greg Marlo. Greg, can you tell us what we're sitting on?
Eric, this is the new Schaefer 2022 Model 400. It's a 40-foot express cruiser with a very sophisticated drive system and electronic system with a lot of really nice amenities, which we're going to talk about.
Very nice. And this came all the way from Brazil.
It did. Thousands of miles on a freighter, unloaded from the freighter onto a special marine transport truck from Montreal to Toronto, and then here at the marina, Outer Harbour Marina in Toronto, we unloaded it and put it in the water about a week and a half ago. So she's very new.
Nice. And how about the process of it actually being transported that far? It's a really nice boat. What kind of measures was taken to protect it?
The shipping industry is, has, let's say, containers and racks so that it all fits nicely like a domino on a freighter, right? So everything fits together. So this is actually, boat is on a factory-made cradle that holds the hull in position and strapped down to that, but that cradle is then mounted on what they call a flat rack, and that flat rack is what the shipping company uses to align all the containers on the freighter. So a little bit of a process, but very, very secure. Schaefer prepares the boat with a custom cover that is custom made for the boat, that zips up on and off. In order to protect it, they also fumigate it, which is part of the shipping standards. But that's all done in Brazil, and then 5 weeks later and thousands of miles later, it arrives in Canada. Schaefer is a family originated company. Marcio Schaefer is still the chief designer, marine architect, and does a very, very good job at designing performance as well as aesthetics, in my opinion. Schaefer has been doing this for over 28 years. They are a dominant player in the South American market, but also worldwide. They are, becoming a force and a very, very competitive brand. Making boats from 30 feet to 303, which we've also had write-ups about with you guys, right up to an 83-footer, 25 meters. So they'll touch that super yacht category. There's a hydraulic swim platform on this boat, which is very high capacity. You can put a jet ski on it, for example. It's a nice big platform that lowers hydraulically, and very, very smooth operation. It has those steps that appear as the platform lowers, which is kind of cool. And there's also a gourmet center at the very back of the boat that makes it, just kind of an ideal barbecue entertainment area that, comes together very, very nicely, because you're still in touch with the people in the cockpit. So it's open and able to, socialize and mingle very, very nicely. So we're on the swim platform on the Schaefer 400. Is a very, very nice, generous area that you could, put a couple of people on. What I like best about it is this gourmet center that still allows you to interact with all your guests, but you'd be cooking up your dinner or lunch, and it's got a wet bar as well. So this makes it convenient. Kind of reminds me when I'm barbecuing at home and you're still connecting with your guests and stuff. So I love it. As we go forward, there's a very nice Helm station and a retractable roof. We are at the helm of the Schaefer 400. I'm going to show you a little bit about what the panel looks like. But first of all, I want you to notice the beautiful leather work. This is real leather throughout the entire front section in front of the helm. Leather stitched, beautifully done, and you can smell the leather. It makes you feel like you get onto that expensive exotic car. Leather wrapped steering wheel made by Isota, which is a famous brand for steering wheels. But you'll notice here, there's no gauges. This is the Garmin glass cockpit. We've got a grouped configuration now where we have the engine instruments and the chart plotter together. Yes, this is all a touch screen, and if you want to reconfigure things, you just kind of push it, change the gauge, push it to whatever else you want, put a digital insert in if you want. Very, very functional. So now we have the voltage, starboard and port, reading out RPM, pressure, engine hours, everything, and all these screens switch, but they're totally customizable. So it really is utilizing the technology that's available today. And we can use multiple screens or we can use a split screen, but I just love it. The Volvo drive system, these are the shifting levers, and as well, this is the joystick for slow maneuvering and docking. This is a feature that many new boaters love because it just allows them to handle the boat just like a video game practically. But this is where a boat that's really not designed to move sideways will move sideways with this computer system, with this joystick, and the unique Volvo Penta drives. So very, very state-of-the-art and very, very nice to operate. Down below, it's very plush, very nicely appointed, and there's 2 staterooms, both with ensuite bath showers. There's a very nice sized galley, there's a salon, there's a big screen TV. Very comfortable, good high ceilings, and the finishes particularly are quite nice. And the way Schaefer does things, their factory assembly is vertical because they can do their own upholstery work, they can do their own hull. They have a 5-axis CNC machine, which is state-of-the-art in the industry, that actually, robotically carves out a hull, and therefore their ability to be able to manufacture the hull, do the woodworking, do the upholstery, vertical integration allows them to be more efficient, more quality control oriented, and probably more timely deliveries. There is storage underneath you. We use that for PFDs, so there's enough on board. This boat typically is a 14 passenger boat. This table flips up, and it just allows us access if you want more access to walk through or to get into the engine compartment. Beautiful teak. This is Brazilian teak, which actually is a little bit denser than the Thai teak that we're used to. It's a little bit different grain. Some people say it's a little blonder, but it's beautiful. It's teak, it's durable, and that's what we want. But a lot of people don't know that Brazil has its own teak for us. I'm very pleased with the Volvo V8 380s. They're gas engines. This particular boat, from the factory, there's about 8 different options of engines, including outboards if you wanted. So you can get 3 outboards in the back, Cruiser, you can use diesel, you can get different size engines. We went with the Volvo Penta V8s. They're reliable engines, they're great engines, they work really well with the joystick, and they're quiet too. So performance, reliability, and even cost for the type of outings that we're going to do on this boat in the Great Lakes. So usually, half an hour to an hour. They're long. It's not a long distance boat where you may want to consider diesels just because of the fuel component. But the nice part is you have a choice.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below to Power Boating YouTube channel for more amazing content.